Welcome! In this video, we will explore the essential features of HeartFocus. Let's begin with a quick tour of the software and then explain the key features. HeartFocus is an AI-powered app designed to make mastering heart echoes simple, effective, and accessible for any healthcare practitioner, no matter their skill level. HeartFocus offers real-time heart echo guidance, showing you exactly where to position the ultrasound probe to capture diagnostic quality images. Let's see an example of a cardiac echo you can perform with HeartFocus. Here is the HeartFocus application interface. The screen is split in several parts. On the bottom right of the interface, the app indicates on a model where to position the probe on the patient's chest. To get you all set to capture the first view, the parasternal long axis view, you need to position the probe between the sternum and the lower left pectoral region, with the probe marker pointing towards the patient's right shoulder. Once you have placed the probe on the patient's chest in the start position, the live guidance appears on the screen. Here the probe is misplaced and pointing towards the patient's head. You now have hints on how to move the probe appropriately to reach the probe's target position. It's just like a video game. The white arrow and cross represent your target. The blue arrow and cross represent the probe. Your goal is to superimpose the blue arrow on the white arrow and blue cross on the white cross. In this example, you must turn the probe counterclockwise to reach the target position. Once you obtain a diagnostic quality view, the ultrasound image is highlighted in green, instructing you to hold your position. HeartFocus will now perform an auto record, meaning that it is recording the clip without you having to touch the screen. Simply hold your position until the green circle completes. And as simple as that, you have acquired your first clips with HeartFocus. Congrats! HeartFocus helps you master the 10 essential cardiac views. On the left side of the screen, the different views can be selected. You can see the parasternal views, the apical, and the subcostal ones. The view you are trying to capture is displayed at the top of the screen. Here it is the apical 4-chamber. Just underneath, notice the start position of the probe represented by a white arrow and displayed on the chest. Your goal is to match your blue probe position on the patient's chest with the location of the white arrow. Remember, the probe marker must point in the direction indicated by the arrow. Notice how the white arrow orientation changes according to the selected view. Before going further, ensure that your patient is in the correct position and that you apply enough ultrasound gel to your probe so the exam goes smoothly. Get comfortable and start scanning. While you scan, HeartFocus offers cues on how to move and orientate the probe in order to get diagnostic quality images. The cue are given real-time by the live guidance displayed over the ultrasound image. Start by placing your probe on the patient's chest in the target area and move it around. As soon as HeartFocus detects an image where the heart structures of interest are visible, the live guidance is displayed. The blue oval represents the actual position of the probe, and the static white arrow is the target position. Your objective is to superimpose the blue arrow on top of the white arrow and the blue cross on top of the white cross. While scanning, 5 different probe movements can be used to reach the target position. You can translate it to the left or right and upwards or downwards. You can tilt it down or up and rock it left or right. And you can also rotate it. These 5 types of probe movements are displayed using the live guidance, which includes the oval, the arrow, and the cross. Let's take a closer look. First, the rotation movement. Here, you can see on the screen that the 2 arrows are not aligned. The right movement here is to simply rotate the probe clockwise without changing its position to reach the target position. Then, the translation movement. You can see on the screen that the two arrows are in the same alignment, but the blue oval and crosses are offset to the right. Here, you can simply slide the probe to the left without rotating it to reach the target position. Finally, the tilt movement. On the screen, you see that the blue cross is not centered on the oval. The right movement here is to tilt the probe downwards to bring the blue cross back to the center of the oval, superimposed on the white one. For tilt movements, you have to imagine that the blue oval is at the tip of the probe while the blue cross moves in a lower plane, where the probe is aiming at. By tilting the probe, you can move the blue cross into the target without changing the tip of the probe position. Most of the time, you will need to combine several of these movements to get to the target position. But don't worry, the system is very intuitive. Once you have practiced a few times, you'll be able to do it with ease. If you have performed cardiac ultrasound exams on standard ultrasound systems, you can deactivate the live guidance at any time by pressing the switch button on the bottom of the screen. HeartFocus offers 3 types of recording: the auto record, the best effort record, and the manual record. Let's begin with the auto record feature. While scanning, when a diagnostic quality view is detected, the ultrasound image is highlighted in green, letting you know to hold the position. As you stay on a diagnostic quality view, the auto record circle will start to fill. You need to hold your probe in position until the entire circle fills. 2.5 seconds, and you are done. When the auto record is complete, the green circle blinks, and the name of the view is framed in green. You will notice the image quality of the recorded clip has been evaluated and is presented as a percentage. Obtaining an auto record is excellent, but reaching the highest quality clip is your next challenge. As the auto record is constantly trying to get the best quality clip, you may improve the recording quality by simply maintaining the probe in its position and making several consecutive auto records. Once the clip has been saved, the name of the recorded cardiac view goes green. Once you have recorded a clip, you can review it by selecting the name of the view. The video of the recorded clip is replayed, along with its quality score. You can delete the recorded clip or press Retake to keep it and return to acquisition. Some patients have poor echogenicity, which means that it's difficult to obtain a clear image of their heart with ultrasound. Auto records may be difficult to obtain in patients with poor echogenicity. That's why HeartFocus offers you another type of recording called Best Effort Record. The Best Effort Record is available after a certain time of scanning without getting an auto record. During this time frame, HeartFocus continuously records the best quality clip done so far. After this time, a Best Effort Record button appears on the screen, next to the ultrasound image. The quality of the clip is also indicated next to the button. View the recorded clip by pressing the Best Effort Record button, then decide whether to save the image or retake it. Remember, it may not be perfect, but it's better to have a best effort record than to miss the image altogether. In many situations, this best effort record will support the analysis. Once the clip has been saved with the best effort record, the name of the recorded view goes blue. If you have performed cardiac ultrasound exams on standard ultrasound systems, you can also manually record clips. By pressing the Manual Record button at the bottom of the screen, HeartFocus records the last 2.5 seconds of the ultrasound stream. Check the recording and decide whether to save or retake it. Then, return back. Upon saving the clip, the name of the recorded view goes white. When performing an exam, you might need to change the probe's depth and gain parameters. These parameters are preset for each view, but if needed, you can modify them. To decrease or increase depth, slide your finger up or down on the screen, and slide it right or left to increase or decrease the gain. The settings are shown in the top right corner of the screen. As the exam progresses, The view names in the bar on the left of the screen will be framed in the color of the recording that has been made. Once you have completed your exam, you can press the End Acquisition button. Congratulations! You are now ready to perform your first cardiac ultrasound acquisition with HeartFocus on your own. In this video, we have covered the key features of the HeartFocus software: live guidance, diagnostic quality view detection, auto record, best effort record. By using these features, you will succeed in capturing high-quality diagnostic images. In the next video, we will cover the three main areas to get a good start with image acquisition with HeartFocus and master the guidance. What to do before starting image acquisition. What to do when guidance is not displayed. What to do when guidance is displayed, but recording is not triggered.